hair is going cray cray. Hey y'all, hello. Got hair on my screen here. Let y'all get in here. Hello, happy Saturday. Hello, give me a thumbs up if you're in the room so that way I know that y'all are in the room. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm doing great. I cannot wait. Hey, Alexandra. Hello, Aliana. I think that's how you say it, maybe. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Ken. Hello. Hi, y'all. Hey, peeps. Hey, I really wish that YouTube would let me bring someone on the conversation. Like, like, cause like I know, like from like with the other, because I'm trying to see if it would let me like add someone. Because I know like with Instagram, like if someone requests, then I can like add someone on as like a guest. So I really enjoy that interaction and that like stuff here. Let's see, top chat, live chat. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. Chat. Remember that guard your privacy and abide by your. Okay, so yeah. So okay. So there it is. Huh. Let's see, that's interesting. I'm like seeing this in different ways here. Yeah. So what was I saying? Yeah, I wish it would like let me like add people on here so that we could like have a conversation and like actually like chat for a bit because it doesn't let you do that. I wish it would let you do that. Yeah, but that's what it is here. So, all right. Well, y'all don't have to wait. I'm like just randomly talking to myself here at this point. So y'all can feel free to go ahead and start asking me your questions, and I will get to as many of you as I can. Go ahead and if you're gonna ask me about your life, then be specific. Like, what specifically do you want to know? If you're asking about like your health or wellness, ask specific questions. If you want to know about finances, ask specific questions. Career and work, ask specific questions. People like to just say, tell me something about myself or read me or, do you have a message for me? That's too general. I need y'all to be specific because it's just going to take too long to figure out what the heck you're wanting to know. And I'm probably not going to answer the question you want me to answer. So that's why I'm asking y'all to be specific about your questions. For those of you who want me to connect with a loved one in spirit, just let me know who you want me to connect to, and I will try to give you some information from them. I don't see them, I don't hear them, so they're all using my brain and my mental processes. So they're using my thoughts, my emotions, and my memories. So they're communicating to me through like a form of mental telepathy using my thoughts and my emotions and my memories. My job is to take the pieces that they're giving me and try to figure out what they may be talking about or what they may be referring to. It's hard because I don't have you in front of me, so I can't ask you about certain pieces because sometimes that helps me to figure out where they're going with it. So I'm just going to do the very best I can to interpret it in the best way I can, so that way hopefully you may have an understanding of what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm not going to answer everybody's questions, of course, because that's a lot, but I'm going to try to get through as many of you as I can. Okay. And also, by the way, I do want to share with you for July, for the month of July, I'm actually not going to be doing my lives on Facebook. I'm actually going to be doing them I'm going to do extra ones on Instagram or extra ones on YouTube. And I'm doing that for very specific reasons. And I'm making a statement, even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, but I'm doing it because I want to make sure that I am making a very clear statement as far as using my platform for what I'm saying. I actually spend quite a bit of money each month on Facebook with promoting my content, like pushing like articles and promoting my podcast, etc. So I'm going to divert all of that over to YouTube, so that way I can actually support YouTube more and then hopefully gain a little more traction with YouTube as far as growing the audience, etc. So that's what I'll be doing for the month of July. So if you're used to me being on Facebook for lives every Wednesday, that live will be changed either to Instagram or to YouTube for the month of July. And then after July, I'll figure out what I'm going to do at that point. I'm probably going to go back to using Facebook, but at that point, it's just more of a statement to see if we can get some changes here. So we can get more of these companies to take responsibility for how people are being affected and impacted by misinformation and stuff like that. So, all right, let's go over to your first questions here. Da, 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 da. Mark Southwell. Hey, do you have any messages or guidance from my grandparents, Earl and Lillian, aka Ma and Pa? Thank you. Yeah. So as soon as I read that question, immediately I want to go to like the idea of a business. So I don't know if you've been reassessing or thinking about a change with your career, or you've been thinking about like changing aspects of a business or trying to start a business, but they're almost wanting to like push you, and they're almost wanting to acknowledge like try it again or try a different version of it. So I don't know if you've already tried to start a business, or you already have a business and then you're thinking about changing that, but they're almost pushing like reassess it and try again because there's something there that might benefit you. Also, your your grandpa, I don't know if he had guns, but I keep seeing guns. So I don't know if he had a gun collection or you have his gun, or there's something special about having guns, but he's referencing the guns or he's showing me a gun. So there might be a connection with that. She also, your grandma keeps acknowledging, I keep hearing her sing. So I don't know if she used to sing just for fun or she used to sing in a choir, but I keep hearing the sound of her voice and I keep hearing her singing. So she's just making like that reference or that gesture there as well. Okay. Let's see. Um, Maria Mestri, what will be my career? I think it's going to be some sort of coaching or teaching because I keep seeing like you guiding or showing others how to do something. So you might go into like being a trainer or a facilitator for like classes and stuff. I don't think it's going to be like kids in school. It might be like a trainer for like a company or for like for like a business or company where you're training or you're coaching or you're teaching people how to do what they're supposed to do. Okay. Mm. Misty Southwell, can you tell me the name of my spirit guides and do they have any messages for me? Thank you. Yeah, you have two guides. Doreen is the female, she's the primary guide, and the male's name, I want to say the male's name might be like Michael. So you got two messages that they have for you. They are making me feel like you need to be more creative or kind of go into more of your creativity, especially when it means like doing stuff where like I want to call it design work, like interior design or interior decorating or DIY stuff that has to do with the interior stuff. There might be an opportunity for you to express yourself or to do something there that might be a good thing for you. Okay. Andrew T. Happy Saturday. Do you see new love romance headed my way? I think there may actually be an opportunity, a romantic opportunity within the next 2 or 3 weeks, but it might just be like online or just like from a distance because it doesn't feel like it's close by. There may be another option that comes up around November, which may be through someone that you meet through like a work or job situation. That person's name starts with a P. Okay. Um, Daniela Ray. Hi, Ferny. Any messages from my dad, JD Garza, for me and the family, please and thank you. Yes, so he is showing me balloons. So I don't know if y'all are celebrating something soon or y'all just finished celebrating something. But usually when I see balloons, it's usually like celebrating an anniversary or celebrating a like a birthday. So he's referencing that. He also keeps acknowledging. He does. I feel like I don't know if his back was hurting a lot more towards the end, or he was having issues where his back or his lower side, and then also his legs were giving him some issues, but he's giving me that indicator or giving me that feeling as well. He's like fine. He wants to make sure y'all understand he's fine. He is pointing to something around the neck, so there might be like a cross or a necklace that is significant. He also keeps referencing 3 rosaries or 3 special necklaces. So I don't know if y'all have 3 special memorial necklaces or 3 special rosaries, but he's acknowledging something like that as well. He also keeps talking about like I don't know if someone hurt someone in the back of the house, like either someone like moving back there or knocking back there or making a sound, but he's acknowledging that he tried to get people's attention or get y'all's attention by doing stuff at like the back of the house or like at the back. So he's referencing that. He also keeps acknowledging this is gonna sound weird. I don't know if someone has a nickname like Chini, Chinti, Chonti. It's almost like a nickname like that he's wanting to acknowledge, but he's making that gesture, making that nickname. So there might be someone that nickname that he's wanting to acknowledge or make reference to. He also keeps he's drawing on my skin, so there might be a couple of tattoos, or there might be a plan for a tattoo to be done twice. But he's acknowledging that. Okay. Um, Josephine Amador. Hi, Ferny. Any message from my husband for my kids? They miss him too much. Yes. So he is referencing. I don't know if they ever played volleyball or because I keep seeing the net and the ball. So I don't know if he ever played a game with them where there was a net and the ball, or there's something about getting the ball into the net. But it's almost, I don't know if this is like volleyball or this is like basketball, but he's showing me something like that. So there might be a reference to doing that or having that memory, but he's referencing that. He also keeps showing me a picture of him, and I feel like the picture is of him with a cake or next to a birthday cake or next to a cake of some sort. So he's acknowledging the image or the picture of him next to a cake. He also keeps referencing one of the kids having a dream about him, and I don't know if they were driving in a vehicle with him in the dream, or they were riding with him, or there was something about being in a vehicle or driving along, but he's referencing a dream like that. So he's making a reference to that as well. He says, I love you. And I think he's making that reference for all the children. So he thinks he's wanting to acknowledge all the kids and he's saying, I love you. He also said, he's almost making a joke also, like, just because I'm here doesn't mean that I don't know what's going on or I can't see what y'all are doing. So he's almost like getting on them. But it's funny because he kind of wants to be a little like not rude, but like, I'm watching you, I'm gonna watch your ass real good. Like he's almost like coming across that way. So I don't know if he had a habit of being that way, but he's almost like wanting to kind of get in people's faces and like come across that way. I don't know if he kind of comes across like a smart ass. So I don't know if he was like that in life, but he's kind of coming across like that. He just wanted to like talk like that. So he's doing that for me, for them. Okay. Nav, will I be successful in the veterinary assistant course and pass the AVA exam? Yes and yes. I also think that you're not going to stop there. You may actually decide to take an additional type of veterinarian course that has to do with livestock. So it may not just be like traditional animals. They may also be like, you may also have an opportunity to do some additional courses or an extension to the course that has to do with livestock. B. Urbano, do you see me being accepted and finishing the medical program I applied for? I do, but I feel like it might take a year longer than you expected. So be prepared because there may be a year delay, but I do think you will. Viviana Melgoza, hi Ferny, do you see my living situation changing anytime soon? I wouldn't say soon, but I would say in about 4 or 5 months there would be a change. So there may be a change in about 4 or 5 months from now. So it's about the end of the year, in other words, like around November, December. Chelly 920, hi Ferny, what do you see in my love life in the near future? Will I remarry again? You will remarry again, but it's going to take about 3.5 years, so it's a whiles away. I also think that it may take longer for the person to pop into your life than you expect as well. So I would say it might take about 2.5 years for them to really settle into your life, and then it would take about 3.5, 4 years before there's marriage. I do think that it will move very quickly though, as soon as this person pops into your life, as soon as you connect with this individual. Person's name starts with a T, by the way. Marley Torres. Hi, Ferny. My dad passed when I was 12 years old. Today is his birthday. Any messages, please? Yeah, he's showing me a picture of himself, and he's wearing like a blue shirt. I don't know if it's like a blue collar shirt or just a blue shirt, but he's referencing like his bluish colored shirt picture. So he's referencing that. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He keeps acknowledging prideship and proudship. So I think he's prideful and proud of you. He also says he's showing me this. So I don't know if you have your father's ring or if you got married, and he's wanting to acknowledge being present for the wedding, but he's referencing that. What's interesting is he's almost wanting to give you some advice. This may not be easy, or this may take more work or more effort than you're prepared for, so be aware. But he's acknowledging that, so he's making a reference to that as well, okay? He also is referencing a picture of, you might have made a picture or drawn a picture when you were little, and it's of like, I feel like I'm looking at the sun, or like I feel like I'm looking at the sun, or like mountains and the sun. So there's something there that he's acknowledging that might be connected to him, okay? Modena Rios, hi Ferny, I hope you are doing well. Do you have any messages from my dad, Adolfo P. Rios? Yeah, so he is referencing the number 12, so I would say that December or the 12th of a month might be significant. He also keeps acknowledging almost like the first attempt or the first try to make this better wasn't going to work, so the second attempt was more of just like a delay, or like trying to trying to keep me going as long as possible. That's the way he's making me feel. So I almost feel like this wasn't going to be something that could be fixed or something that could be changed. And it was almost like after the first attempt or the first diagnosis, it's like the second part of this was more like just trying to make him comfortable or just trying to make this go as long as possible. He also keeps referencing a bracelet, so there might be a bracelet or something that goes around the wrist that might be connected to him. He also keeps acknowledging music. I feel like I'm listening to music on a phone next to a memorial site. So I don't know if y'all have taken and played music at his actual memorial site, or if someone's put like a phone with music and played it next to his remains, but he's acknowledging something like that. I also feel that thank you. I keep seeing the name Jerry Lewis, which is a singer or entertainer, but I don't think he's acknowledging Jerry Lewis. I think he's talking about the name. So there might be like a Jerry or a Lewis name that he's wanting to acknowledge or reference. It might be somebody that's there, but he's referencing that name in some way. Okay. Um, Ali, Alina, my partner has had stale energy for a while now, years. I am wanting to separate as I feel it has killed my spirit and don't see anything changing. How do you see him taking me telling him please? I think, well, first of all, I think that your partner suffers from depression, and I think that's part of the issue. I also think that his hormones are not balanced, and I think that he isn't producing enough testosterone. So I feel like that's part of the issue. I do think, however, that nothing will change because I just don't feel like he's even interested in trying to make a difference. I don't think he's going to take it well, but I kind of feel like he's going to drag his feet with the entire process. So it might take longer than you would want it to complete the process of a separation. I don't think he's going to take it well, though. Carla HTX, do you see me with Alex in the future? I do not see you with Alex in the future. I don't think y'all are meant to be together. So I feel that you're going to end up with somebody else by the name of Ruben. So yeah, so there might be a person by the name of Ruben that you'll end up with. Probably in a couple of years, actually, because I keep seeing 2 years. D Did you? Will I find a job soon? If yes, when? Any signs, hints to pay attention to in my search? Yeah, I think it might take a while. I don't think it's going to be soon. It might take like 5 months before you find one that works for you. I also feel that the logo of the company is like a triangle, but the edges are not like 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 they're not sharp edges or rounded edges, and it feels like a triangle. They may actually have associations with a kind of infrastructure or pipeline organization. So there may be connection or something that has to do with that may be connected to them. Because I feel like that's the way the logo looks for the company. It's like a triangle, but it's almost like rounded in the corners. And I feel like there's like a long line or like a thing that goes in the middle of it. Okay, so keep an eye out for that. Miriam Nandu, what changes do you see with my job in the near future? Will I be with the company for long? As far as changes with the job, I'm not really seeing any major changes right this minute. I do think that in about 6 or 7 months, there may be some announcements that have to do more with like location changes, where like the location of the company or where their base is at, or where they're like based out of may be changing or something's going on there. I also feel that. I do think that you'll be with them for a while. I actually think you might be with them for about 6 or 7 years. So you might be with them for a bit of time. Okay. Tana M, when is my next relationship? Your next relationship might be in about 2 months. But it feels like it might be with somebody who's already involved or possibly even married. So be careful, because I don't want you to kind of get caught up in someone and then it doesn't really turn out to your benefit. So I would say, but in about 2 months. There might be another relationship that comes up for you in about 2 years and 8 months, and that one feels like more, it like might actually be more sustainable or stable for you. Person's name starts with a G. L. Jackson, hey Ferny, what career field should I go into? A regular job or should I start a business with my best friend? I think if you start a business with your best friend, you might start off strong, but I don't think it's gonna really like blossom or grow. I think that both of you are gonna kind of find yourselves feeling like it was a waste of time. I don't. That doesn't mean you shouldn't try if that's what you want to do, but I just don't feel like that's gonna be the direction you end up sticking with. As far as the career field is concerned, I actually think that. Working for the education system may actually be a good path for you, but not from like a teacher perspective, more from like admin or counseling in some way, because I feel like there's something there that you might actually be good at, or that it may work for you, but you might have to get some additional credentials, and I think that's probably what's going to be required. Unity Yoga, a study of energy. Can you tell me anything about my spirit guide? Yeah, you've got two. The main guide's name is Rahim, and Rahim. The secondary guide's name is Ju, Ju. So Rahim and Ju. Angelica Haufen. Fernie, my son has told me in dreams he has tests in heaven, or there are tests in heaven. Any messages from him? Do I have guide's name or message? Yeah. So when they speak to us, they always communicate energy and information to us, but our brains always want to turn it into something that we can relate to. The tests in heaven have more to do with like the levels or the markers. So there's different levels or different, I want to call it vibrations, or different stages to heaven. And depending on the spirit, they reside in different stages or in different levels. And that doesn't mean that one's better than the other. It just means that they are different variations. It's almost like if someone is in college and someone is doing an associate's degree versus a master's, etc. There's like different levels or whatever. So I think your son is acknowledging the connection to his own growth and his own personal spiritual journey. He is acknowledging the number 2, so the second of a month is going to be significant, or February is going to be significant. He also keeps acknowledging looking up at the stars or looking past the mountain or the cliff. So I don't know if you had an experience where you were looking over a hill or looking past like a mountain or a cliff, but he's referencing something like that. I also felt like it's weird because I almost feel like I'm in Hawaii and I'm looking at the ocean. So there's a reference there that he's trying to acknowledge or make reference to. He also keeps acknowledging he's drawing on my skin. So someone may either get a tattoo connected to your son, or there may be a tattoo association that he's making reference to, because I keep feeling like I'm drawing on my skin, or there's just a shape on my skin. So it's referenced there as well. Okay. I love you too, Sue. Kaja, will I get married this year? Can you see any name? Thank you so much. I don't think it'll be this year. I think you'll get married in September of next year. Person's name starts with a B. I almost want to say that they go by Boba or Bobi, or Bo. It's almost like a Bo, B-O, but they have a full name, but I feel like they go by the nickname. Okay. Germ C3002, Jerry M. Hey, Fernie. Who are my spirit guides? What do they want me to know? Do they put songs in my head? That's interesting. I'm glad you mentioned that. So, when I first started to develop my psychic ability, and I even did a episode in my psychic class on YouTube, which is free for those of you interested in developing seriously. I did one like actual episode of the class about this exact situation, where when they were preparing me to receive like insight and information and communication, they used to play songs in my head over and over and over again. And it would be like one song would start, it almost felt like a radio, like I was a radio, and a song would play and then it would change and then a new song would play and change. And it was like constant, and it would drive me insane. I think they're wanting to train you to be prepared to receive more communication from them, and I think that's what they're trying to do. Your main guide's the one that you want to work with. His name is Arthur, like King Arthur from like the King Arthur. So it's his name is Arthur. Lindsay Santos. Hi, Ferny. What has my dad been doing to let me know he is around? Thank you. So he messed with a fan. So you might have had a fan like act up or a fan be weird. And I don't know if it's a ceiling fan or just a regular fan, but I kind of feel like there's might be a ceiling fan. So he's referencing that. He also keeps acknowledging butterflies. So butterflies are a symbol from him. He also keeps referencing ladybugs as well. So ladybugs are going to be a symbol from him also. He also is showing me a smell. So there might be a smell. It almost feels like motor oil or some sort of like, I don't know if it's gasoline or motor oil or something like that, that he's making a smell for me. So there might be a smell that comes up that is connected to him that is like that as well. So sometimes when that smell comes up, it usually means that they had skills, like they used to do auto skills or they used to have like auto work or something like that. I don't know if that's the case with your dad, but that's what I'm reminded of when I think of the smell that I'm smelling. CRZJDTH1. I'm just gonna say it's like Crazy Judith. I want to say that's what you're saying is Crazy Judith. One will be e-commerce business. Will the e-commerce business be business succeed or fail? I feel like this is going to go through three variations. So there may be a first attempt or a first version of this. For some reason, the way that the system is set up or what you're using to do process or to use as the e-commerce business or the platform doesn't feel like it's the best one. The second one feels like it's better, but for some reason I feel like you're still trying to do something in the old way with the second one, and so that one has limited results. There's a third one which feels more like it's already set up and all you have to do is basically just switch everything over to that system, and that seems to work much better for you. So you may have to go through this three separate times. I think the third version of it or the third attempt seems better. Brianna de los Santos. Hi, Fernie. Love you. I've been feeling a strong male presence at night in my room. Not sure if it's my spirit guide or another spirit just messing with me, sending me a message. I actually think it's a spirit. So I think that it's the father of someone that you're connected to, whether it's like a friend or a significant other. But I feel like it's a father figure that's connected to someone that you are connected to. And they. I feel like they're trying to say hello, so they're using you or trying to use you to say hello. But I almost feel like they may have passed not that recently. I mean, not that long ago. So they may have passed fairly recently. Natasha Khan, Fernie, my uncle, dad's brother, passed away in Feb. We never got a chance to say goodbye because he was in another country. Just wondering if he has any messages for my dad, also unsaid feelings. So first of all, he is not wanting to, he's very persistent that he does not want to bring up old wounds or to bring up old pain because he's like, it doesn't matter. So there is no bad blood or no issues that he wants to acknowledge or wants to focus on. For him, he's actually very happy. He's with the parental figure, so I would say that he at least has one parent with him in spirit. He might have both, but I'm only picking up on the one, so that just means that there's only one that I'm feeling. That doesn't mean the other one's not there. It's just I'm only feeling one. There's also a reference because there's another male figure, and I feel like it's a parental or it's like a father figure. So there's a father with him. I also keep seeing. Thank you. He keeps acknowledging a. What is this? It's just gonna sound weird. I keep seeing like an old newspaper or an old article or an old magazine, and I feel like I've written something in it. So I don't know if your dad has an old like newspaper or an old magazine or something that he wrote a note in, or he was gonna like, or he kept from his brother, but he's showing me something that reminds me of like this thing. He also keeps referencing a picture of them, and one of them has glasses on in the picture. So he's referencing an image of them. There may actually be one or two other people in the picture, also possibly males, but he's acknowledging this picture of them together. So there's a reference there as well. He also shows me the month of March, so either the third of a month or March is connected. He also is giving him or handing him an orange. So I don't know if they liked oranges or tangerines, but he's handing him like an orange, and it's almost like peace. So he's doing that, okay? Um, El Tigre. Me and her reconnected through a phone call today after a month separated. She went to X. Do you think she will call me again to hang out today soon? No, I don't think she'll call you again today. I do think that there might be another opportunity in about a week to connect again, but I don't feel confident about consistency. In other words, I feel like she's going to change her mind a lot and it make it very confusing. So you're going to have some patience if you want to try to work that out. Okay? Might take about a month before something really changes in the situation with her. Um, Maria de Garcia. Hi, Ferny. Is there something going on with my ex-husband? Not sure if he's having health issues or financial issues, but I've dreamt of his stressed and crying. Yeah, because you still have the psychic bond. Yeah, I think it has to do with his work or financial situation. So I feel like it's connected to that, and I feel like he's either having to accept the inevitable, or he's basically gonna be in a situation where he's not gonna be able to live the same lifestyle. So I do see there being a big change there for him. Samantha Darko. Hi, Fernie. Are there any messages from my mom? Yes. She wants you to stop living in your own head, because sometimes you tend to separate yourself from people, or you kind of get in your own head and you kind of disassociate with others. So she's almost acknowledging like you having relationships or connections with other people and making sure that you're able to support or sustain those. She also keeps acknowledging, she showed me a computer, so I don't know if you have a picture of her on your computer or laptop screen, or there's a screen that's got a picture of her, but she's showing me that, so because I feel like I'm typing as well. She also keeps referencing poetry, so I don't know if you've done music, like written music or written poetry in the past, or if she's done this, but she's showing me something that reminds me of that. She also keeps referencing, what is this? I feel like I'm watching, trying to show me a Disney movie. I don't know if this is Bambi or the Land Before Time. The Land Before Time wasn't a Disney movie, but I'm seeing that as seeing, like when Littlefoot's mom passes away, like I'm seeing that. So I don't know if you recently had an experience where you saw one of those films and you thought about that, or if there's a connection to mom in one of those films, but she's acknowledging that. She also keeps referencing that red picture, the picture with the red, like, top or the red scarf. So there's something like that she's making a reference to as well. Might have been a Christmas picture, but I'm not sure if it's just red because it's, the holidays, or it's actually like a red scarf. Tina Osbourne. Hi, Fernie. Do you see any romance for me? I've been divorced for 10 years and I'm afraid I won't know another love. So if you do nothing, I feel like you might have to wait another 6 or 7 years before you meet anybody that you are even willing to give a chance to. So I feel like if you do nothing, if you work on it, I think you can actually make a change, and you might be able to find somebody or have somebody come into your life in about 2 years. So if you don't do anything and you're just like continuing to hold back and not letting anybody in or trusting anybody or giving or even trying to start connections with other people, I think you're gonna have to wait about 7 years. So it's gonna be a while. Here's what you do. You need to listen to Brene Brown's The Power of Vulnerability, and then you need to practice the skills or the techniques that are taught in Cheryl Richardson's book, The Art of Extreme Self-Care. Just doing those two will help you to start to shift the energy around you. And if you start to get to a point where you're open, you're receptive, you're in the moment and present, and then you're loving yourself the way you deserve and the way you should be, it takes the pressure off of anybody else, and then you can kind of be more receptive and open to other people coming into your life. But you need to do the work first with yourself. Um, Prashnil Naidu. I hope I said that correctly. Hi, Ferny. My wife and I are wondering when our finances will improve and will we get a house and if we will have another baby, boy or girl. I think you will get a house. It might take 2.5 years around that time. Your finances may improve a little bit by the first of the year, by the first of this coming year, and then there's another dip period for you, and then it may get back to more stable position by the second half of next year, 2021. But I do think that there will be a house, and I also think that you will have another child. It will be a girl. That's what I'm thinking. K KIM or KM. Hey, Fernie, will me and Yosef end up together? Probably not. I feel like Yosef's going to end up with somebody else. And this might happen in about 2.5 years. So as of right now, I'm not really feeling like y'all will end up together. Okay? I know you're going to like cuss me out. I know you're like, you don't know what you're talking about, Fernie. You're not psychic. You're just making shit up. Like, yeah, I know. But that's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing y'all not being together. So I'm sorry. Jessica, messages from guides or loved ones. Do you see any love for me in my future? I see love for you, but it might take about 3 years and 7 months. Person's name starts with a J. I want to say that they're actually named after someone, so they might be a junior or they just might be the J name. I also think that the person has they have a accent, so I feel like they might have been born in a different country, and now they live in the States or wherever I don't know where you are, but I feel like they were born in a different country because I feel like they have an accent. I also think that they speak French, so they may have a French accent, or they may know French. Hey, Fernie, is my cat having any health issues? It's weird. I'm taking her in. Just want to make sure I'm not overreacting. Hair shedding, ear itching, meowing more. Yeah, I think she might be having some issues with her thyroid, so that she might have hyperthyroidism or having some thyroid condition. I also think she's not absorbing some of the nutrients that, some of the thyroid condition might be due to a lack of nutrients, even though you might be feeding the cat the same thing. I feel like she's just not getting enough nutrients in. So the food, something's different about the food, or the food just isn't nutrient rich. You might need to add more wet food if you are doing a lot of dry food, or you might have to add more nutritious food because I think that might help. I also think that, like I said, the thyroid might be struggling or having some issues there as well. Okay. Mm-hmm. Brenda Flores, hi Fernie. My son's dad passed away 5 years ago. Anything from him? Yeah, so he's pointing at himself. Usually, whenever someone does that, it usually means that they either contributed to their own passing or they may have caused their own passing, because he's almost pointing to himself. He also keeps acknowledging, I feel like a rupture within my body. So I don't know if there was a external impact, but I feel like something inside feels like a bleed out, or like something's bleeding into something else. That's the way he's making me feel on the inside, like something's leaching or spilling over to something else. I almost feel like it's a bleed in, but it might be internally because I feel like something's going on there. He also keeps referencing the number 17. So there might be a connection to 17, which would be like the 17th of a month or January 7th. He also keeps referencing there's a baby in spirit with him. So I don't know if y'all also have another child that was miscarried, lost, terminated, or there was a baby that someone miscarried, lost, terminated that he's wanting to acknowledge as well. He does want his son to be more cautious of the people he spends his time around or who he trusts around him, because not everybody is always there to like be the best person they need to be for the person. So he's almost wanting him to be cautious of his like friendships or the associations, because there might be someone that isn't really being honest or being completely open about their situation. So he needs to be a little bit careful about that. He also keeps showing me, I feel like I keep hearing an engine revving, and I feel like I'm listening to like a muscle car, or hearing like a Mustang. So I don't know if their father had a Mustang or the son has a Mustang, but there's a reference to like this red car, vroom vroom, and the Mustang. Okay. Mm. Daphne Lewis, will I meet someone better in love? Yeah, I think you probably will meet someone that might be a better fit for you in about a year and 7 months. So less than 2 years, but more than one. Person's name starts with an E. Um, they might even go by the name like Eddie or Edward or Edie or Eddie or Edie. There's like an E, so it might be ED, but it's like an E name. They also are in sports or they work for a sporting organization or a sporting type like job thing. So be prepared for that. Eleni Gianoglu. I hope I said that correctly. Am I going to buy a house? I do think you will buy a house. I actually think you might have an opportunity to buy a house within 3 or 4 months. So you might have an opportunity sooner rather than later. Rosario Contreras, my boyfriend passed away. Is there any messages he would like me to know or something he would like me to do? So I keep seeing, I feel fuzzy in my head, so I don't know if he wasn't 100% there when this happened, or what this reminds me of is almost like either like I'm taken something and it's made me very confused, or I feel very weird in my head, or I just don't feel like myself because he's like doing this to my head. He also keeps acknowledging he's doing this, so I don't know if there's a baby girl or child that he's wanting to make reference to or acknowledge, but he's doing this as well. He also keeps acknowledging he says he wants you to forgive him. So that's what he's acknowledging because he's like, I want you to forgive me. So he's making reference to that. He also says that he's the one that opened the door. He left the door open. So I don't know if you were at home and the door was like opening by itself or left open and you thought it was really weird, but he's acknowledging that. He also keeps referencing a brother. So I don't know if he's talking about his brother or you have a brother, but he's referencing the brother and making reference to or wanting to acknowledge that person. So he's bringing them up as well. He doesn't. I don't think he wants you to do anything other than just to know that he's sorry for what happened or for how this happened, and also that he's fine and he's safe and that he's not in any pain. Okay. Griselda Perez, hello Ferny, would my husband ever change? He's always mad. I think that your husband has a lot of resentment, and I think your husband is going through kind of a weird period in his life. I almost feel like the last 2 months, the last 2 years have been harder on him. I think that he is just feeling like a victim, and so I think he's angry because in his mind, someone is like, if it's not work, then it's the relationship or it's family or whatever. I feel like he's just he's got it in his head that like everybody's out to take advantage or to use him or whatever. So I feel like that's affecting him or causing him a lot of struggle. I do think he needs to probably talk to somebody because I think that might help him. I also think at some point, I don't think he's going to change, but I kind of, and this is going to sound crazy, I kind of want you to try to get him into like church or get him into a community organization like that where he can just try to find his connection to God again or connection to like the universe, because I feel he's forgotten himself and he's gotten caught up in like how life sucks and things aren't happening the way that they should. Okay. Can't blame you for anything. You can't blame you for everything is what I meant. I mean, there's some stuff you can probably work on, but I feel like you can't blame you for everything. Talisa, hi, when will I meet my next love? I think you'll meet somebody. Good question. I think you'll meet somebody in about 2.5 months, but I don't think that's going to go anywhere. A person's name starts with a T. Then there may be another opportunity to meet somebody else at the end of the year around, not the end of the year, I'm sorry, in about 8 or 9 months. That's another opportunity. That person's name starts with a W. I think you need to work on what you expect from people, because I feel like your expectations in love or relationship are a little skewed and you probably need to get like a reality check. So I feel like you need to work on like what you expect or what you're wanting from a relationship. I also think you probably need to choose better, because I feel like you're just choosing people that I don't think are worth worth it. So I feel like you need to shift the whole mindset around that. So whatever your type is, whatever you're normally attracted to, I would say start changing or forcing yourself to try to consider some others that are different from the type that you're used to, because that's going to just keep bringing the same cycles over and over again. Lauren Martinez Garcia. Hi, Ferny. When will I start working again? Thank you. I think you'll start working in about 2.5 months. It might be part-time, but it's a start. Araceli Cruz, any messages from my father-in-law, from my husband? Yes. He's putting his hand over his mouth. Whenever I see that, it usually means I didn't get a chance to say goodbye or I wasn't able to communicate. So I don't know if your husband wasn't able to be there when he passed, or if the dad just wasn't able to talk, and he, wants your husband to know that, it's okay and that he's fine. He also keeps showing me a cross, and I feel like I'm looking at a cross on the wall, and I don't know if there's a special cross that y'all have on the wall, or there's like a picture of him and then there's a cross right next to it. But he's acknowledging that. He also keeps showing me a picture of your husband when he was younger, and I don't know if he was like in a little bike or in a little cart or something, and the father might be also in the picture as well, or he's just kind of acknowledging this image of him. He also keeps referencing the name. He's showing me Jesus or Jesus, so I don't know if there's a Jesus name or Jesus, or I don't know where he's going with that, because that could go in two different ways. That can mean Jesus, or that can mean actually Jesus, but he's referencing that name as well. He also is acknowledging I don't know if your husband's planning on buying a new vehicle, or if there's like a lighter colored vehicle. Like, I don't know if it's like a white SUV or a white truck or a light gray vehicle that's like that he's wanting to acknowledge or make a reference to, connecting to your husband as well. Okay? Steph Sop Arty, Steph's, I don't even know how to even say that. Well, are there any messages from Daniel? I haven't dreamt of him in a while. Has he forgotten me? It's not that they forget you. It's just that when time goes on, their energy ascends to higher levels, to higher frequencies, and it makes it harder to connect or to let you know that they're around. It's easier when they've just passed, and after some time, when you're starting to get to a place of peace with it, they also ascend as well. So it just changes the frequency or the vibration of the energy. He hasn't forgotten you, and I think that he is acknowledging. I feel like I'm wrapping something around me, like a fabric or a clothing. So I don't know if you have a shirt or a piece of fabric or something that is connected to him, but he's acknowledging that. I keep smelling smoke, so I don't know if he was a smoker or there's an association with smoke in him, but I keep smelling smoke. So you might smell smoke from time to time, and that may be a way for him to let you know he's around you. He's also showing me the number 23. So either February 3rd is connected, or the 23rd of a month may be significant, but he's referencing that as well. He also keeps acknowledging, okay. I feel like I'm driving, and I feel like I'm looking at like the signs, the signs on the side of the freeway, or those big old signs or advertisements, and I feel like he's like highlighting one for me. So I don't know if you were driving or you were in a vehicle and you saw one and you thought of him, but he's almost acknowledging something like this and relating it or connecting it to you. Okay. Carolyn Robinson, how many spirit guides do I have, and what are their names? You have 3. The primary guide's name is Josephine, and the second guide's name is Loon. I almost want to I feel like it's like Luin, but it's like you sound it out like Loon. Loon. The third guide is also a male. His name is Roger. So so that's the third guide. Blue. Today I went to the doctor. Will the lab test have good outcome? I'm in my head nerves. I feel like you might have to take 3 separate tests, because it's like, I feel like there's a first test that has to determine the level or the significance of the issue. And then there's 2 more tests that have to determine if there's an effect on another part of your body. And then another test that determines like stage or like what's going to be needed. So I feel like there's going to actually be 3 tests. I do think that there's something to be aware of, and that's something that you'll have to treat or work through. But I feel like there's a plan that's going to be there to help you with this, and I think that this will go like clockwork. So I do feel like there's going to be something that needs to be taken care of, but I think that there's going to be 3 separate tests that may come up around this to determine the significance of it and what you actually have to do, and how much of this is going to be required, okay? But I hope I'm wrong. I absolutely hope 100% that I am completely wrong and that you are perfectly okay and that there's absolutely nothing wrong that comes up in the test. So I hope I'm wrong. Please let me know if I am, because I will be more than happy to hear that. Katrina Vargas, do you see my children and myself moving forward with a better life? Does my grandparents have any messages for me? I do see you moving forward, but I think that the next 6 months are going to be rough. So I think that the next 6 months you're going to have to really, really try hard to make the best of it. I do think there might be some changes with home or living circumstances or situation early next year. There may actually be 2 changes, because I feel like there's going to be 2 changes within a 12-month period. So there could already be this beginning, and then I think this may come up again in the next 6 months or whatever. But I do think that things will get stable by next summer, and I think that you will be in a much better place at that point. I also think that what is happening right now is necessary so that you can have a better life. So I would say that this is kind of necessary to happen. Gabe H, hello, any messages from my dad or infant son? Yeah, your son, interestingly enough, he's showing me his feet. So I don't know if you have the footprints or if there's 2 footprints. One is like the paper or the birth certificate, and then there's another one where it's like a necklace or like a piece of metal, because I feel like I want to put something on the metal on the heart. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if you actually have like a fingerprint or a thumbprint or a footprint on the heart. So I kind of feel like there might be something connected to that. And what was I didn't catch the other one. I didn't catch the other. Oh, questions from my dad. Yeah, your dad. Your dad is referencing. I keep hearing someone whistle, so I don't know if your dad had a tendency of whistling, or you heard someone whistling once and you didn't know where it's coming from. But he's whistling for me. He also keeps acknowledging. He says he touched your back, or he touched you across your chest. So I don't know if you felt someone touch you one day, or you saw someone tap you and you looked behind and there was nobody there, but he's doing something like that. He also keeps reference, I keep smelling like fried fish or fried shrimp. So I don't know if your dad liked fried food or fried shrimp or fried something like that, but I feel like what I'm reminded of is there's the place in Houston that my mom and I we used to go to. It's called Connie's Seafood. It's like a seafood place. So I don't know if your dad ever, like you ever took him to a place like that, or there's like a seafood fried shrimp or something that has to do with like fried shrimps or something like that. But he's showing me something like that. I smell it, so I can feel a connection to that. Okay. Pedro Miranda. Hi, Ferny. Looking great. Thank you, Pedro. Any messages from my parents, Zoila, Margarita, and or Manuel de Jesus? Yeah, with your mom. First of all, your mom is like, she's like wanting to like grab you and like hug you so tightly. So she's almost like that, and like really wanting to give you some love there. She also is referencing the number 23 or 24. So I don't know if the 23rd or the 24th is connected, or February 3rd or February 4th is connected, but there's a reference there. She also keeps acknowledging a rosary or a necklace with the cross on it. So there might be a connection to a rosary or a necklace with a cross on it. She also keeps acknowledging birds. So she says that she comes around with birds, so she references birds. Your dad is showing me a rainbow in the sky. So I don't know if you've seen a rainbow and thought of your dad, or he's acknowledging like making a rainbow for you, but he's almost showing me something like that as well. He also keeps, I'm asking him if that's what it is, and he's like just like smiling or laughing, and he's like showing me a thumbs up like I'm close enough. So I'm like, okay. So he's showing me that. He also keeps referencing messing with something in your closet, or whatever fell in your closet or fell and hit the closet door and opened the closet door. Whatever this is, he's acknowledging something like this might have happened, and it was his way of trying to get your attention or letting you know that. Also, there was a dream about him as well. Okay. All right, y'all. I think I'm running on the end of my time here. So Hillary Wimbish. Any messages from my father who passed away recently? Yes. He's putting his hand over his mouth, which usually means I didn't get a chance to say goodbye or couldn't communicate. But he says he's not in any pain anymore. And he also says that it was way less painful than people actually thought. So he's almost wanting to make that clear. He also says he made the wind sound or the wind chimes or the wind sound or the whooshing or something like that. So I don't know if y'all had some wind sound or wind, crazy wind or something like that, but he's referencing that. He also is acknowledging the changes to his memorial or the first version versus the second version. And it's almost like discussions or trying to figure out whether that, yeah, we're going to go with the first version of something or the second version. I'm assuming he's talking about like the memorial site or the whatever this is, because I almost feel like I'm looking at a memorial stone or something that's like this, because he's referencing like two versions of this. He also keeps doing he's doing this. I don't know if he served in the military or he's just saluting, like people used to call him captain or used to call him like sir, but I feel like he's wanting to do this, so he's acknowledging that. He also keeps showing me Joey or Joe or Joseph or John. There's a J-O name that he's wanting to reference. I don't know if it's him or he's actually acknowledging someone there that he's wanting to say is with him. So he's referencing that as well. Okay. All right, y'all. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back on Wednesday. It will not be on Facebook. It'll probably be on Instagram. So I will see y'all on Instagram on Wednesday next week. Okay. All right. Talk to you then. Bye, guys.